Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well and staying safe during this time. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Like I said, thank you so much for checking me out. If you haven't done so, please make sure to hit that subscribe button just right below the video. Cool, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And if you're returning, welcome back. Thanks again for your support. I truly do appreciate having you here.
One thing that really stuck in my head this entire time of watching this SEC case play out was the fact that a lot of the players who were behind the scenes of this Ripple SEC case were also heavily involved in the Ethereum free pass speech. While it has been difficult to parse out who are the good guys and who are the bad guys in this entire thing, one of the things that always stuck with me was the fact that the SEC's driving argument to why Ethereum was getting this clarity and not other coins was because it was sufficiently decentralized. One thing that never made sense to me was the fact that Ethereum received its free pass speech in 2018. Ethereum was created in 2015. This is only a 3-year gap between when the SEC or when Ethereum was created to when the SEC stated that they believed it was essentially decentralized. Now, what I could never get my head around was how you could have something like XRP that was created far before Ethereum and was clearly more decentralized based on its consensus model be completely ignored. And for this, it really made me start thinking who was behind the scenes. And another thing that really caught my attention and really just played into this entire narrative was the fact, as I stated earlier, one of the law firms who was involved in helping Ethereum get its clarity also already stated back in the day that they didn't believe XRP was a security. So if the SEC's entire logic between Ethereum being decentralized was based upon the law firms it was working with, well, by that same logic, it's really hard to understand how they could have later brought a lawsuit against Ripple when the same law firm who said Ethereum was all good to go also said XRP was all good to go. And note, this was before the name XRP even existed. This is from Perkins Coie, the legal firm who gave Ethereum its free pass. They were saying, and at the time it was called Ripple, not XRP, but they were saying Ripple was decentralized. And that's when things got really confusing, and it started to make me really think, if all these same players knew that XRP was decentralized back in the day, then why was Ethereum given the free pass and XRP given this lawsuit? Well, I think this clip by Digital Asset Investor is going to show you a lot, and you guys need to listen very closely to this because I think it's going to put a lot of stuff in perspective for you.
We have the technology to allow every financial institution on the planet to settle with every other financial institution in a compatible jurisdiction in any asset in seconds for less than a penny. Just think about this. Anyone who's made a payment knows that we're nowhere near that today. But imagine every financial institution settling with every other financial institution in seconds for less than a penny, any asset. That's fundamentally transformative. We have the technology to do it. Now we just need to figure out how to drive the adoption. And of course, there's all the challenges with there's incumbents, there's regulation.
So 2 things really quick, and then I'm going to play it again. One thing he said, XRP game changer, solves a problem that we cannot solve with our current technology, and it can be solved with XRP. There is no doubt this technology is needed in the market. And notice the first thing he says when he says issues. He says incumbents and he says regulators.
There's inertia. There's the big players who are really trying to defend, if if you're one of the largest banks in the world, you want to push pause or stop on technology between you, because you're in the lead. So of course,
Largest banks in the world.
it's like you say you love technology, but obviously you wish you could stop it. So all those challenges.
And you mentioned Jamie Dimon, so let's bring it back to Jamie and
Jamie Dimon.
JP Morgan. What do you think is going to be the thing that they will have to change the most or lose market share and somebody else is going to do better, faster, serve their clients better than JP Morgan or Goldman Sachs?
You can just hear the bankers panicking right now.
But
Feel the panic in their voices. But here's
business that is most.
Well, here's what always happens.
Notice how salty Gary gets when he says that. I think that's pretty telling in itself.
The first thing that happens is they try to go, oh, it's nothing. And they did that. I mean, that's with every new industry, every new technology comes along, the powers that be, the incumbents, the status quo, all say, it's nothing, don't ignore the man behind the curtain, this is nothing.
Kind of like what Jamie Dimon did in the early Bitcoin days. He said it was nothing, just ignore it. If you talk about Bitcoin at JP Morgan, you're fired. Well, I'm going to show you later in this video that while that's what he was saying to the public, that's not what was happening behind the scenes.
And then all of a sudden it's too big to get in there, they're going, oh my God, I got to face this thing. And then they all line up and they wrap their arms together and they say, we're not letting this happen.
Didn't David Schwartz say this is one of the biggest problems? Big banks saying we're not letting this happen? This is exactly what Tim Draper's saying.
And then it keeps going. And then they say, okay, well, let's go after, let's sue them.
Is that not exactly what's happening? Let's sue them. That's what we're watching with Ripple. And is he just randomly saying this? Well, what if I told you Tim Draper, that guy talking to Gary Gensler right there, is investing in Ripple and XRP? He knows what's going on. He sees what's happening. He's watching this transformation as XRP and Ripple disrupt everything going on in our current banking, in our current financial system. This disruption is happening, and he's watching these big banks put their arms together and say, we're not letting this happen. He lays it out perfectly, and there's no doubt in my mind, if he's an investor in Ripple and an investor in XRP, he's watching this happen. And I wanted to go back and just show you one more clip before we really wrap this up, and I show you what's happening behind the scenes, because I think this just puts the icing on the cake, and this is captioned 22 seconds on why JP Morgan hates Ripple and XRP.
Super pushing and also a lot of money attached to those settlements.
For sure. So we have over 100 banks working with Ripple today around the world. I think the vast majority of banks, like 99.9% of banks, actually are paying other banks, the kind of the global money center banks like JP Morgan or Citibank, to make those settlements.
It's funny how many times JP Morgan specifically comes up when all these high-level people, when all these proponents of Ripple and XRP are talking. It's funny how often JP Morgan comes up.
So a lot of the banks are very excited about democratizing how these global payments flow.
So Brad Garlinghouse in his videos talking about the structure. He says that most banks in the world need XRP and Ripple, but the top 1%, the JP Morgans, hate it. And just to get into more, where does JP Morgan have ties to? Well, something pretty interesting and relates back to what we were talking about earlier with how Ethereum got a free pass. Despite the fact that it's way less decentralized than XRP, despite the fact that it came way after XRP, and despite the fact that Ethereum's own lawyers who worked to get Ethereum this free pass had already said in the past that they already knew XRP was decentralized. They were saying XRP was decentralized before Ethereum even existed. So, what's so interesting between JP Morgan, who all these people talk about trying to put the brakes on XRP and Ethereum? Well, how about this? How about a co-founder of the biggest firm who works with Ethereum? And for those of you who don't know, consensus to Ethereum is essentially what Ripple is to XRP. Well, Joseph Lubin, the CEO of Consensus, said even before the very first block on Ethereum was mined and Consensus was formed, we've been collaborating with JP Morgan on Ethereum proof of concepts. We look forward to continuing on our multifaceted partnership with JP Morgan for many years. So right here, they're admitting Ethereum is in bed with JP Morgan. And what else doesn't make any sense? If we take a look at this, we can see that despite the fact that almost every country in the entire world has already seen it clear and obvious, XRP is not a security. It seems like the one country that JP Morgan has significant influence, which is the US, seems to think XRP is a security, which slows down Ripple's business model, all while a currency or cryptocurrency who has significantly more attributes of being a security is being attacked by the very government that should be pro-Ripple and pro-XRP. All of this is absent of any logic. And the reason why? Because strings are clearly being pulled behind the scenes. And if you guys aren't already convinced that all this is taking place and it is very obvious who the good guys and who the bad guys all this are, well, I left out in this entire thing so far maybe one of the most obvious pieces of evidence about all of this. And I wanted to do this last because I wanted to show you how obvious this all is already. How obvious that strings were pulled to get Ethereum a free pass and to try to slam the door on XRP. Well, this makes it more obvious than all of it, but I wanted to save this for last because I feel like it's just the icing on top. Bill Hinman, when he was at the SEC, was being paid $15 million essentially by a law firm who works directly with the Ethereum Alliance. All while Jay Clayton was also getting paid by another law firm who worked for the Ethereum Alliance. This is a massive conflict of interest. During the time that all of everything I just described to you played out, and all these serious things going behind the scene was happening, these guys were literally getting paid by the Ethereum Alliance. If that doesn't show you guys what this lawsuit is all about, I don't know what will. We have speculated on this channel before that it was done to bring clarity to the market for XRP. There are things I see in this lawsuit that make me think that's true.
I'm your guy. I will keep you posted. I'm your advocate. I'll be back on a daily basis, usually multiple times per day, with these videos to keep you updated with everything going on. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't done so, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Feel free to share any of my videos with your friends, family, social media, or anybody who may care to listen. Thanks so much for your continued support. I'm always here for you. I want to help you through this time. So thank you so much for continuing to choose me. Enjoy your day, stay safe, and I'll catch you again probably in a couple hours. Thanks, everybody. See you later.